I'm Brooke Weiland. I'm a fine art photographer and an entrepreneur. Welcome to my channel. Today, I want to talk about how to value yourself and what to do when you encounter someone that doesn't value you in the way you would like. So, I'm an artist. Some of my work is behind me, a fine art photographer. And when I first started to sell my work, I definitely wasn't sure how to price it and felt kind of insecure about some of the pricing. So, I did an art walk and I had some loose, unframed proofs. They're like samples. So people could look through and touch them and order off of those samples. And I had a guy that came up to me and he asked me what the prices were. And I told him, and he was like, really? Really? For these posters? Really? I wanted to die and also punch him in the face. I did keep my composure, but he was so in my face and so rude, really. Really? And it was an interesting experience. So at the time, I had just started to learn about law of attraction and this idea that you kind of get what you give, what comes to you is like a mirror of what's going on in your internal state. I really sat down and asked myself, like after that encounter was done, I just sort of moved through it as best I could. And on my drive home that day, I remember thinking, okay, this is an opportunity for me to learn. And in the idea, in the spirit of everything is a mirror, I was able to look inside and understand, I really was insecure about the prices. So I believe that's why I would attract someone who didn't like the prices, right? It forced me to look at my work and my pricing and value myself. So, number one, I let that guy off the hook, right? I could have just written him off as a jerk and just said, "Oh, it's him, it's not me." But I really don't think that's super useful. I don't think it's useful to get mad or blame anyone, the other person or yourself, right? So what I was able to do is I thought, okay, he's entitled to his opinion. And if I'm being honest with myself, I've certainly gone into stores and looked at prices and thought, that's like really expensive. I don't think I've ever gotten in someone's face in the way that he got in mine. However, I've certainly had the thought. So I was able to deflate the feeling inside of me and realize he's just a person, he's just expressing an opinion. And that right away softened it for me. And then I thought, okay, I didn't enjoy that encounter. What do I want? And I thought, you know what? I want to attract people that like my prices, that feel like the prices are just right, or maybe even, they're great prices. Maybe they even think the price is low and they'll buy a few things. So I put that out there and then I thought, and if someone doesn't like my prices, then they don't need to tell me. They can just move on. They don't have to get in my face. And it's interesting, since that evening, I have never encountered someone like that ever again. And my belief is that when you do that, when you let someone off the hook, when you soften the situation and you give someone the right to their feelings and their opinion, and then you immediately turn yourself in the direction of what you want, it seems to me, I've tested it out in my life, and it seems that every time I do that, I really end up where I want to be. And I think if I would have just said, oh, well, he's just a jerk and that's his problem, blah, 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 and written it off, I don't think I would have ever faced myself and moved on. I bet I would have kept attracting people. And the other part is it forced me also to look at my work and ask myself, how do I want to price my pieces, right? I want to feel proud of my pieces and proud of the prices. And what's interesting, actually, the piece that he was looking at this point, it's like nearly doubled in price. Like the size that he was looking at. And I really sat and I thought about, my work is, they're fine art photographs. They're processed on archival papers. They're made to last. I make very few. My edition sizes are anywhere from 3 to 12. Most photographers, their edition sizes are like 100. They're very limited edition special pieces. And so I price them accordingly. And it was a good opportunity for me to look at myself in that way, to look at my work in that way, and to not just put something off on another
So I
person.
think whether you're an artist or you're selling some other type of product or service, it's good to ask yourself, what are my prices and why? And really get clear and feel good. And then if someone comes up to you, take it as an opportunity. If something is triggering you, you have a trigger in you. I mean, maybe that person is a jerk, but that doesn't change the fact that it triggered you. Now, if someone came in like that into my gallery and said something like that about my prices, I wouldn't even care because I've looked inside myself. I've made my, prices the way I feel good about, and it wouldn't matter. So that trigger is not there anymore. And really, that guy was such a gift to me because it helped me get to that more confident place. So, my advice is use these opportunities as the gift that they are. Simply, acknowledge your feelings. Gee, that didn't feel good. Also, this person has a right to their opinion. And what do I prefer? Like those are the steps, and I swear it works every time. And the more you get good at it, the quicker you can do it without spending too much time in the angry phase. And if it's okay to get angry, it's just you don't want to live in that angry feeling. You want to feel it, acknowledge it, and then move through it and not just leave it on the other person. Let yourself understand, okay, I'm angry because there's something in me. Like with me, I was feeling insecure. That's why there was a trigger. And then once I got more comfortable with my pricing, I just don't attract those kind of people. And like I said, even if I did, I would just be like, okay, this isn't for you. And that would be the end of that. So that's my advice. I say try it out. Please, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. I would love to hear if anyone tries this out. What's it like? Or if you've done something like that before, what kind of experiences you've had. And if there's any other topics you want me to cover, please let me know.